Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another video. First things first, guys, make sure you smash the like, subscribe if you're new around here, and as always, leave your thoughts in the comments below. And in today's video, I'm going to be covering some breaking news coming out of France that apparently Victor Osimhen has an offer from Chelsea on the table. Now, nowhere else is reporting this as of yet, but according to Fabrice Hawkins, who is reasonably reliable, was the first one to break Wesley Fofana to Chelsea. He's saying that Victor Osimhen has an offer from Chelsea, with Saudi Arabia and PSG also working on him. Now, there have been a report circulating in recent weeks that Chelsea haven't fully ruled out going back in for Osimhen if Napoli were to reduce their asking price. I mean, the release clause is believed to be around £113 million. No one has gone in as of yet at that price, whether they're not prepared to pay it or whether they're just waiting so that Napoli drop it. I don't really know. We know that Saudi can afford it. We know PSG are in the market to bring someone in to obviously fill the void left by Kylian Mbappe. And we know that Chelsea are looking for a striker as well. But it would be a little bit strange, in my opinion, if we were to go back in for Osimhen, given we'd briefed earlier in the summer that we weren't interested, we're not going to pursue a deal. It's too much money, concerns over style of play, concerns over injury history and whatnot. And now you're sort of getting little murmurings and offers on the table that Chelsea haven't fully ruled themselves out. And you just sort of wonder, have the club got something up their sleeve? Is there something with Osimhen that is unfinished business at Chelsea? But then what I would say on the flip side to that is that if we were set on getting him, why have we not gone and done it now? Is it purely because then he can be in for the pre-season, learn under Enzo Maresca and stuff, have as much time with his new teammates in the squad as possible, get used to, what would be expected of him? If this drags on towards the end of this month, the pre-season tour starts, so he misses the majority of pre-season before any potential move materializes, and he comes in massively on the back foot. So I'm not sure if that would be the best solution for us. But I suppose, when you look at the names that Chelsea have been linked with, your Jonathan Davids, your Omar Rodions, your John Durans and whatnot, you suddenly think, well, Osimhen at a reduced price, 80 or 90 million pounds, which some reports have indicated the price could drop to if there aren't any takers, then you'd have to say that would be a very, very good option on the market for a striker who is top quality, is a proven goal scorer, has got all the attributes and the capabilities to be a success in the Premier League. You would suddenly think, well, hang on a second, that becomes a bit more of an attractive proposition. The only issue that we do have, though, is that the wages are going to be a problem, because his wages are definitely going to be in excess of what we're prepared to pay. How desperate is he for Champions League football? Is he money orientated? Would he just go to PSG? I mean, he's already played in Liga. Reports suggest that, his next move, he wants that to be the Premier League. But we have to rely on, our history of African players and the sporting project, because we can't offer Champions League football. So we need to we need to see. We really need to see what his thoughts are. But the fact that these reports are emerging, the fact that these reports aren't going away, would suggest that there's something in there. And, even now, reports from Italy are saying that Osimhen's not trained for the second consecutive day with Napoli at pre-season training. So is there something going on here? It's really hard to tell. But normally in football, there's no smoke without fire. You wouldn't just make something up that there's an offer on the table from Chelsea. I've not seen it anywhere else. But the report does say that De Laurentiis, the Napoli owner, is not prepared to compromise at this point. Negotiations are still ongoing. PSG aren't prepared to spend such a huge sum. And Osimhen also has offers in Saudi Arabia and England, most notably at Chelsea. So this is an interesting one. And I wonder if this is something, now that the Euros is finished, now that the Copa America is finished, now that all focus is going on to pre-season and back to club football, this is something we could start to see heat up. now that we're heading towards the start of the season. Chelsea's first pre-season game is in less than 10 days now. I wonder if we're going to start to see a few things heating up and a few more bits of business suddenly appearing in the pipeline. It's definitely a possibility. And look, it's a move that I would absolutely be on board with. I think it's someone that, is absolutely a level raiser, someone that comes in and makes a big difference. And I don't want to hear people in the comments or people in general saying, oh, what does that mean for Jackson? Or we shouldn't sign Osimhen because what about Jackson? No, that's the mentality that's going to hold us back as a football club. Osimhen coming in would be a huge plus for Nicholas Jackson, someone to learn off, someone to develop from, someone to compete with. There's plenty of games to go round for 2 or 3 players in each position. And it would be a huge plus for Jackson and would only spur him on and improve him as a footballer. Do I believe these reports on Osimhen? I'm not sure I do. Do I think there's an element of truth in the fact that Chelsea might go back in if the asking price drops? I think there's certainly a possibility of that being the case. We know the club have had long-term interest in Osimhen, for quite a while now. So, you imagine they would have spoken to his people. They obviously might have been in contact with the club through intermediaries and whatnot. So this is definitely something that, we're not starting from scratch. We would certainly be looking at coming at it from a situation where, maybe some groundwork has already been done on a potential deal. There's definitely would have been contact over the last few months, certainly before we seemingly ended our pursuit. But yeah, it's very much one to keep an eye on. It's very much an interesting one because it's not going away. And, links in general with strikers have gone very, very quiet. Nothing with Omar, nothing with Jonathan David, and nothing with any other names of note. I've said many times, that I feel that Chelsea perhaps now are going to wait and see how Guiu does in pre-season, see how Nkunku does in the 9 position before making a decision on a striker coming in. There was a report in The Athletic a week or so ago saying that, Chelsea, if a big name striker was to suddenly become available, Chelsea would strongly consider making a move, as we saw with the opportunistic inquiry for Alexander Isak. So Chelsea perhaps are prepared to do that. Under no illusion, by the way, people, that this is, as far as I'm concerned, still very, very unlikely. But the fact that first reports coming out that, Chelsea there's an offer on the table, or Osimhen has got an offer from Chelsea. That'll also be a personal terms offer. It's not an offer. It's not an offer from the club to Napoli. Maybe it's heating up. We've got, a key piece in the puzzle in Romelu Lukaku that Napoli will almost certainly move for if Osimhen moves on. So maybe there's an opportunity for Lukaku to be involved in part of the deal. This separate transaction sort of stuff. So we've got pieces of the jigsaw that Napoli would like. So there's definitely, terms of a deal that can be done there. But would it be the sort of signing that would upset the apple cart at Chelsea? Is it the sort of signing that would disrupt the dressing room, big fee, obviously would be on more wages than potentially other players? It's really hard to tell, but he would tick the boxes of what we would be looking for in a centre forward. It's not my first choice. Ivan Toney would absolutely be my first choice. And I'm very surprised, I'm not surprised, but I am surprised in the same breath that we're not looking to move for someone like an Ivan Toney, given he ticks all the boxes, a year left on his contract. The asking price, I honestly think you could get him for 40 or 50 million pounds this summer. He's Premier League proven. And with better players around him and a better team, he's already proven to be a 20 goals a season striker. And the only reason in my mind why we're not going for him is that there's no resale value because of his age. I can't think of a single footballing reason why we wouldn't go for him. So yeah, it's definitely one to watch. Something that could develop over the next couple of weeks, or as we build up towards pre-season and the beginning of the season. But if we don't really hear any movement in the next couple of weeks, if it gets to August and there's not really been much on this or any further developments, then I suspect it could be, not fake news, but there wasn't really, maybe more was made out than was actually the case with this current scenario. But only time will tell, guys, on that front. But yeah, people, that's just my thoughts on the breaking reports from France suggesting that Chelsea have tabled an offer to Victor Osimhen. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, guys, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you smash the likes. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. And I'll catch you again in another one soon. Up the Chelsea and peace out, people.